This is a cautionary tale. The trad wife to poverty pipeline is real. The trad wife to single mother pipeline is real. This is the reason why I will continue to say that young women need to be focused on their careers, well, their education, then their career, getting credentialing and doing all of those things, living a little bit before they get married. Because if you do too much beforehand, you get married young, you don't have any career possibilities, and then you end up like this. You don't have as many options. So this woman posted in the marriage subreddit saying, my husband fell in love with a career woman. She posted in the marriage subreddit and she posted in the True Off My Chest subreddit. Soon as I saw this, I started snapping screenshots because she says, burner account, deleting this account eventually. My husband and I have been together for 6 years. My husband is 36. I'm 29. So they got together. She got married, or they got together when she was 23. Like I said, way too young. She says, we have 2 children together, a 3-year-old, a toddler that's just over 1 year old, and I'm currently pregnant with our 3rd. My husband fell in love with a 25-year-old woman who is a career woman. So this is the reason why I said women need to get their education first. They need to get a career with some foundation, some experience, because now she's sitting up here looking around. She has 2 kids done and 1 is baking. And now she's like, what am I going to do? Well, she did get her education. She says, I do have an education. I have a general communication studies degree. It's not concentrated in anything. It's just communication studies. I never readily found a job in this field. I worked for a short time as a receptionist. I didn't like my job. I did leave my job to become a stay-at-home mom, and I've been a stay-at-home mom since my first was born. My husband has a good career. He's able to take care of us on his 1 income. So I saw his text. He started telling this woman, I love you. Honestly, that hurt more than him having a physical affair. He had both a physical and emotional affair with this woman, but honestly, it would have hurt less. I would have been hurt less if I knew it was just sex, since sex is just sex for men. But it's not this situation. He loves her. She's an architectural designer. She is the opposite of me. She loves working. She never wants to become a mother, while I want at least 4 children. My husband told me he didn't fall in love with her because she's a career woman, but because she's smart, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and ambitious. He likes that he can talk to her about anything. He can't talk to me about anything but marriage and finances, and he thinks that's why our marriage fell apart. It became just about the children and the bills, and less about us and sex. He really claims he doesn't care that she's a career woman, but that's a lie, because he has told me in the past, I'm just a receptionist and I have no future outside of being a mom. Damn. Which hurts, but it's true. I don't have a career direction. I'm not career driven like most women are. I've always wanted to be a mom. I always wanted to have a lot of children. It is what makes me happy. Working never made me happy or fulfilled. I went to college and I did work when I was a teenager. I worked when I was in college, and I worked until I had my kids. The happiest I've been was when I was a stay-at-home mom. I have extreme anxiety, even the thought of him leaving me for this woman. I'm very threatened. She is pretty, and she does seem smart and ambitious and everything else that I am not. I sent her phone number to my phone, and I plan to speak to her myself to see what's going on from her perspective. Now, this woman sounds like the perfect trad bro meme for what he wants in a dream girl. But I honestly don't believe that these men really want this, because once they have it, then it's like, cool, I got what I want. But no, I want one of them independent women. I want one of them career driven women. I want one of them feminists. They go after the women that are the complete opposite of what they acted like they wanted. This woman has completely immersed herself in being a stay-at-home mom, a wife, and, doing all of these things. She does not want to be out there, and that's perfectly fine. But she connected with a man who, for whatever reason, is now ready to bail on her in these kids, and that is completely unfair. But this is one of the reasons why I will continue to say that women need to make sure that they have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, elemental P, all of the plans, because you just do not know. Let's look at some of these comments. And like I said, I got to this post really early because she said that she might take it down. All right, so Dalton says he hasn't fallen in love with a career woman. He's lusting over a woman who is 11 years younger than him, who hasn't had children, and is probably flirting with any man more senior than her and has no interest in having a relationship with any of them. She isn't showing signs of emotional intelligence. He would find her less attractive if she was pregnant. Your husband is making one massive fool of himself. When he realizes this, make sure he is on his knees begging for forgiveness. And that's the thing. These men are out here able to cheat, have full-blown affairs because their wife is at home doing all of the things to make his life easier. These men have way too much time to cheat because they have a wife. That is the reason why I say that they need to be divorced. They need to be divorced, and then he can go out here and find these women, but he probably wouldn't be as attractive without a wife, because a wife helps him with all of his adulting, so he can just go to work with a clear brain and don't have to worry about washing his own clothes, grocery shopping, admin stuff, because he has a wife at home. Beautiful Cry says, and the husband told her she's just a receptionist and has no future but beyond being a mom. What kind of person says that to their spouse and the mother of their children? And Dalton says, the kind who does minimal parenting and couldn't spend an hour looking after his kids without falling apart. He has no idea how hard OP works in the home. Next Dragon Fruit says, I am perplexed that husband, a father of 3 kids, is in love with a woman who never wants kids. Interesting. Is he planning on releasing his rights as their father to be with this woman, or will he become an every other weekend dad? If they decide to play house, they will both get a rude awakening when it's his weekend with his kids and she finds herself a stepmom to 3 kids. OP, please seek legal counsel ASAP. Don't even bother placing a call to her. Women who enter relationships knowing the partner is in a relationship have zero conscience or morals. You'll be losing your breath. You'll be wasting your breath is probably a better way to say it. You and your kids are the only priority. Start making plans. Seek legal help. Absolutely. Unless she's just trying to keep it together for appearance's sake. She's going to have to get a job and get her life together outside of this man. Wolverine No says, his affair partner might be a career woman, but she's also a homewrecker. She knew that your husband was married and she still entered into a relationship with a married man. Hire a divorce attorney and find out what divorce looks like for you. If you think that this marriage is salvageable, then consider a postnup with an infidelity clause. Also insist on a full STD screening, and he has to completely cut off his affair partner. That's if he wants to. He's talking about he's in love. He does not sound like he is just ready to, fall on his knees and beg for forgiveness and make things right with his wife. Excellent Lemon says, I'm sorry that you've been hurt and betrayed. Staying in an unhappy marriage is a terrible idea for everyone. I hope you can safely see your way out and into a happy, safe, content life for yourself. Save your heart and avoid speaking with this lady. She's not the problem. She's not the problem. You are married to your husband. Your husband is the problem for connecting with this woman who is 11 years younger than him. He is the problem. Ladies need to stop trying to speak to that other woman. Woman to woman. No, we're not doing that. He is the problem, not the woman. Quake 2 Marine says, after he's done effing this woman, he probably tells her how his life is and how his wife is a B word so he can garner sympathy from her. That's probably why he said he can talk to the other woman about anything. He's bitching about the mother of his children. And then here's the OP saying, he doesn't have that kind of job. He doesn't have a desk job. He works hybrid. He's on a construction working near trailer. She meant to say he's on a construction site working near trailers. Regardless, he's out here doing wrong, and he probably is bad-mouthing you. So this woman really needs to get it together and put her ducks in a row and try to get out of there. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I want women to get to the point where they love themselves more than they love these relationships, because relationships can break up, but you are stuck with yourself. Have a sense of survival and quit pouring everything into a relationship, because sometimes you're going to have to pick yourself up for you and the kids. Join the conversation, like, comment.